Hertz, known for its rental services, has been offloading a large number of used Teslas, resulting in some compelling deals for buyers. Recently, you might have seen a significant drop in the prices of used EVs and even Teslas. It might seem like a good deal, but these drops are just a mask that hides a whole lot of issues. Let me explain. What's happening? Currently, you can find used Tesla Model 3s at Hertz for as low as $21,000, which is quite a bargain considering these cars can cost nearly double when new. The average sale price hovers around $25,000, making it an attractive option for those looking to own an electric vehicle without breaking the bank. Hertz's decision to sell off these vehicles at lower prices stems from a combination of factors. Firstly, there's the high mileage that these rental cars have accumulated, coupled with visible wear and tear from constant use. Many of the Teslas on sale show signs of heavy use, such as scratches and dents, which naturally drive down their market value. The drop in prices is also influenced by a market oversupply and lower demand for used EVs. According to data, the value of used EVs has plummeted by 33.7% from October 2022 to October 2023, a stark contrast to the 5.1% drop in the overall used car market. This decline is partly due to the slowing growth of EV sales in North America, which is expected to decelerate from 72% in 2023 to about 27% this year. Plus, adding to the appeal, some of these used Teslas qualify for a $4,000 tax credit under the Inflation Reduction Act. This credit effectively lowers the price even further, making these vehicles not just a greener choice but a financially savvy one too. With prices significantly reduced due to high mileage and cosmetic issues, buyers can get their hands on a Tesla for a fraction of the cost. However, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. The high repair cost associated with EVs can be a downside. Issues with battery life and the cost of parts and labor can add up, making it important for buyers to consider these factors before making a purchase. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. But if you're prepared for the quirks and costs of owning a used EV, now might be the perfect time to take the plunge into electric driving. But what's exactly wrong? First up, let's talk about the big elephant in the room: those high maintenance costs and repair concerns. I mean, come on. You'd have to be a certified genius mechanic to even know where to start with these things, am I right? And don't even get me started on the price tag for a new battery. That's enough to make your wallet scream. The folks in charge need to put on their thinking caps and figure out a way to make EV maintenance a whole lot more user-friendly and affordable. For now, the only hope is that they could come up with some snazzy new battery technology that doesn't cost an arm and a leg to replace, or find a way to train up more mechanics who can wrangle these electric beasts without breaking the bank. And then there's the whole range anxiety thing, and let me tell you, I feel your pain. The idea of being stranded on the side of the road, miles from the nearest charging station, is enough to make anyone's rage with anger and fear. And on top of all of these concerns, EVs usually come with a lot of new technologies that have never been tested before. Sure, there's a growing interest in EVs, but many consumers are still hesitant, thanks to concerns about charging infrastructure, range anxiety, and the overall cost of ownership. It's like trying to sell someone a fancy new smartphone when they're still using a flip phone. It takes some serious convincing. And finally, we've got regulatory and policy uncertainty to contend with. Changes in government incentives and policies can have a massive impact on the EV market, and manufacturers have to be nimble enough to navigate these shifting sands. It's like trying to plan a road trip without a GPS. You never know what twists and turns might be around the corner. Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you here, and we're just getting started, but the way I see it, the solutions are out there. We just have to be willing to put in the work. Just like the saying goes, the key is to get those government and private bigwigs to invest in building up a really robust charging infrastructure across the country. The way I see it, the manufacturers need to do a better job of reassuring folks that these EVs are built to last, with warranties and guarantees that'll put their minds at ease. And when that new cutting-edge model comes out, they should make sure it's compatible with the older ones, so people don't feel like they're constantly playing catch-up. Shoot, if they can pull that off, I bet you'd have folks lining up around the block to get their hands on the latest and greatest EV, no matter how quickly technology seems to be moving. After all, who doesn't love feeling like they're at the cutting edge of something big? But is that really the main issue here? Before asking ourselves what the solution is, we should ask if we really need it in the first place. Every company did that, found some sort of solution for their problems, but it was like putting bandages on an already infected wound. But don't just take my word for it. Watch carefully and I'll just lay out the facts. A lost fight. Unless you've been living under a rock, you must have heard about this roller coaster of a ride, with some of the biggest names in the industry like GM and Ford, as well as the scrappier upstarts like Fisker, Canoo and Workhorse, all trying to navigate the twists and turns of this rapidly evolving market. Some of these guys have been around since the dawn of the internal combustion engine, and you'd think they'd have this EV thing figured out, right? Well, think again, my friends. These automotive giants have been hit with a whole host of issues, from supply chain nightmares to skyrocketing production costs. I mean, GM had to recall the Chevy Bolt EV because of battery defects. Talk about a major oops. And Ford's big EV push with the F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E, it's been slowed down by those pesky semiconductor shortages and production bottlenecks. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, and that's exactly what these industry titans are trying to do. GM is aiming to introduce a whopping 30 new EVs globally by 2025, while Ford is pushing forward with its electric offerings. And it's not just them. The scrappy underdogs, the startups trying to carve out their own piece of the EV pie, are facing a lot of issues too. Fisker, for example, was once hailed as a promising player in this space, but they're really hitting some major speed bumps. I mean, can you believe they had over 40,000 pre-orders for their Ocean SUV cancelled? That's more than half of their total reservations since they started accepting them back in 2019. And it's not just Fisker. Canoo and Workhorse are facing their own unique challenges too. Canoo, with its futuristic vehicle designs and innovative business model, has struggled to scale up production. Delays and cost overruns have pushed back the delivery of their much-anticipated lifestyle vehicle, leaving early adopters and investors feeling a little frustrated and a tad disappointed. As for Workhorse, they're known for their electric delivery vans, but they've been hit with some serious production delays and financial troubles. Their efforts to secure big contracts with the likes of UPS have been pretty much stonewalled by these issues, and it's really taken a toll on their investor confidence and stock prices. Why am I telling you this about all these failures? Well, I want you to truly understand what is happening in the real market, not what you see on your TV screens. You see, developing and producing EVs is no cheap endeavor. With all the advanced tech and materials involved, you can't just ramp up production just because you want to. And throw in the competitive pricing pressures, and even the big guys like GM and Ford are feeling the squeeze. For startups, securing enough funding to keep the lights on and the wheels turning is a constant battle. It's like a game of financial Tetris, trying to fit all the pieces together while time is going against you. But that's not all the problem. There is more. Insurance. There is a problem because insurance companies are giving some EVs, especially popular ones like Tesla's, the dreaded total loss tag, even for what seems like a tiny bump. Seriously, a total loss for a little scratch? Why? Well, just think about it. If fixing up an EV can cost you an arm and a leg, why would they touch that? At the heart of this issue lies a simple yet frustrating fact. Repairing EVs is shockingly costly. Unlike your run-of-the-mill gas-powered vehicles, these electric marvels are packed to the brim with advanced technology and fancy materials. And that, my friends, is what's driving up repair bills to astronomical levels. These EVs, especially the ones from Tesla, are equipped with some seriously sophisticated electronics and proprietary technology. We're talking about things like their cutting-edge autopilot systems, revolutionary battery packs, and unique body structures, all of the main appeals of owning a Tesla. To repair these complex systems requires a whole new level of specialized knowledge and specialized tools that body shops just don't have. That's why finding replacement parts for EVs is like trying to locate a needle in a haystack. These parts are nowhere near as readily available as the ones for gasoline-powered vehicles. This scarcity drives up the costs and leads to agonizingly long wait times, as the parts have to be ordered directly from the manufacturer. And if you thought Tesla was famous for its quick deliveries, well, you haven't seen their parts distribution network. One of the most expensive components in an EV is the battery pack. And let me tell you, when the battery pack gets damaged, it's not a quick or easy fix. No, more often than not, it requires a complete replacement, and I don't have to tell you how much that costs. With the sophisticated and delicate nature of EV batteries, these repairs can sometimes approach the price tag of a brand new vehicle. So, in short, repairing an EV is no simple task, my friends. It requires technicians with highly specialized training and expertise. And you know what that means? Higher labor costs. These skilled mechanics command premium wages, and when you factor in the extended repair times, it all adds up to one hefty repair bill. And insurance companies are in the business of managing risk and minimizing costs. And when those repair estimates start reaching the $50,000 mark or beyond, they often decide that declaring the vehicle a total loss is the most cost-effective option. This approach helps them reduce their exposure and avoid the potential for even more expenses if the repairs uncover additional issues down the line. You see, during those lengthy repair periods, insurers are obligated to provide rental cars to their policyholders, and the expense of keeping someone in a rental for several months can add up fast, especially if the repair process gets delayed due to parts shortages or the need for specialized labor. So by declaring a total loss, insurers can eliminate this ongoing rental car cost. Now, you might think this is not a big deal, but in reality, it is going to change everything. So let me break it down for you. But how does this affect you? Let's talk about the money. The payout for a total loss is typically based on the market value of the vehicle at the time of the accident. Now, with EVs like Tesla often holding their value incredibly well, that payout might not be enough to cover the cost of a new or equivalent model. Yep, that means that you're left to cough up the difference out of their own pocket. And dealing with a total loss situation can be both stressful and financially burdensome. First up, owners have to negotiate with those insurance companies to try and secure a fair payout. And let me tell you, that can be a real uphill battle. It's time-consuming, and the final settlement might not even come close to something worth the hassle. To add insult to injury, that total loss declaration can also come back to haunt you in the form of higher insurance premiums. Yeah, insurers may view you as a higher risk, which means costlier coverage for your next mile. Talk about a frustrating catch-22. And let's not forget about the pure time and energy drain of dealing with all of this. Handling the logistics of disposing of a totaled vehicle, finding a suitable replacement, and negotiating with those insurance companies. It's enough to make your head spin and your patience wear thin. And here's the thing, the trend of insurers declaring EVs total losses isn't just a headache for individual owners. It has broader implications for the EV market as a whole. I mean, who wants to deal with the hassle and financial burden of a total loss situation, right? This could lead some consumers to stick with gas-powered vehicles instead. To address these challenges, it's going to take a collaborative effort from the EV industry, insurers, and regulatory bodies. We need to see the development of cost-effective repair solutions, the expansion of specialized repair networks, and the implementation of supportive policies. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. And here is how I know. Losses and strategies. Everyone knows that losses can't be ignored. These companies have to somehow find a way to get their money back, and sometimes in that process things can get ugly. Take Ford for example. They've been facing significant challenges in selling their vehicles and maintaining profitability. Sales have been sluggish, prompting drastic measures like steep price cuts on models such as the F-150 Lightning and the sleek Mach-E electric vehicles. Does it sound familiar to what we talked about? While this might seem like a win for consumers, it's actually a strategic move to spark demand amid waning interest. The company initially tried raising prices to improve accessibility and refine their market approach, but quickly reversed course due to a lackluster consumer response. Now, rows of unsold vehicles dominate dealership lots, raising concerns about Ford's production and quality control practices. Financially, Ford is hemorrhaging money, particularly in their electric vehicle division, where each EV sold reportedly cost them around $36,000 in losses. In 2023 alone, the company suffered a $4.7 billion loss, with projections indicating further declines. And despite these setbacks, Ford remains committed to expanding its electric vehicle lineup, banking on future returns from its investments in advanced software and technology. It might seem like they're doing the wrong thing. Why would any company do such a thing? But when you dig deep, you realize what exactly they're doing. You see, Ford and other automakers are using software in innovative ways to bolster profits, despite challenges in traditional vehicle sales. With Ford's recent strategy of slashing prices on vehicles like the F-150 and Mach-E, they're aiming to simulate consumer interest amid sluggish sales. This move isn't just about clearing inventory, it's a tactical maneuver to regain market momentum. By leveraging software, Ford can streamline operations, optimize manufacturing processes, and enhance vehicle performance, thereby reducing costs and potentially increasing margins. But most of all, Ford's adoption of proprietary software in their vehicles plays a crucial role in post-sale revenue streams. By integrating sophisticated software systems, Ford not only enhances vehicle functionality, but also locks consumers into proprietary repair networks. This strategic control over repairs ensures that consumers rely on authorized dealerships exclusively for maintenance, generating recurring service revenue. And this is bad for you because Ford's integration of proprietary software in vehicles restricts repair options. This limits consumer choice, forcing them to rely on more expensive dealership services rather than opting for potentially cheaper independent mechanics. This can lead to higher repair costs and longer wait times. Now, by monopolizing repair services through proprietary software, Ford can dictate pricing terms for maintenance. This often results in higher service costs for consumers, who may face inflated prices for routine repairs and maintenance due to a lack of competitive pricing pressure from independent mechanics. But when asked, automakers argue that opening up access to vehicle software could compromise safety and expose vehicles to cybersecurity risks. This debate leaves consumers navigating between access to affordable repairs and ensuring vehicle safety and integrity. There are some policies that keep companies from engaging in such practices. When you think about it, it's really complex. They reel you in with a low price tag and then leave you draining your wallet for as long as they want to. That's why some states are trying to fight it, but as of now, we have a long way to go. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.